Good morning, April. I thought I'd do a series of videos about account management. Unfortunately, for a lot of account managers, they really see themselves as kind of an elevated customer service person, whereby they're going out to see their clients, their customers, and they're solving problems. And what I mean by problems is not strategic problems or the sorts of problems that are actually going to enable both parties to engender more value, more mutual enrichment. They're usually, fixing stuff that either a sales support person could do or customer service could do and probably should do. Now, I'm not saying that there's not some value in doing that. There is, but is that really the role of the account manager? I would argue that there's more value for them to deliver to their organization. The other thing that is a bit of an account manager myth is that it's not selling, it's not active sales growth. And it is, or at least it should be, and it absolutely can be. So this is why I feel quite compelled this month, April, account manager, to talk about this, because I think for some account managers that they're not really sure how they make that happen. It's about checking in and checking up rather than about communicating value already delivered and helping the customer to unpack that value or to articulate that value and get a measure of that value. And then also understanding where the growth opportunities might be for that organization, but also outside of that. So it's not just about new business people to be finding new business. It's also the responsibility of the account manager, and it's also the responsibility of the account manager to work hand in glove with somebody who's responsible for, finding new business, winning that business and bringing it back to the organization. So when it comes to account growth, I would say that the first responsibility of any account manager is about understanding what's in their account portfolio and what's in all of their allocated accounts, so that they have an understanding of exactly where the growth's going to come from and that they can align their strategy and execute their strategy accordingly. So the first task, I think, is to go out and, communicate, to interview all of your customers to ascertain which customers are in growth this year. And given the year that we've got, with the range of uncertainty and increasing costs, a lot of organizations are really heavily looking at their cost base and looking at ways to work much more profitably and to retain value in the organization. So account managers really need to be educated around what that means for them and how to partner with their customers in order to make those things a reality for them. So there's the growth aspect. So where's the growth going to come from? And also understanding what that number is. So what that growth figure looks like. Second one is there are going to be customers in your portfolio who simply aren't going to grow this year. They're going to be in a maintenance program from your perspective as the account manager. So your whole strategy needs to be around maintaining their spend and also fortification and protection. So you need to make sure that you've got a strategy in mind that's going to keep them nice and safe, that the relationship's deepened, and that you're not making yourself vulnerable to competitors in that space. And then there's going to be the accounts that either you actively want to start letting go of because they've got really, really tight margins, which usually means that we're going to be losing money on them. We're buying business from, or it's increasingly expensive to serve them. So the cost to serve's gone up and it's no longer a profitable account. We need to know where which of our accounts fall into that category, and we need to start to let those clients go, or to reset the relationship so that it is mutually beneficial. Because it's great to be of service, but that doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, it's at our expense. You know, there needs to be mutual enrichment. Otherwise, it's not a relationship. It's, you know, it's an unhealthy relationship. So that there's those opportunities, but then there's also those accounts that, unless we're actively servicing them, they could be at risk. And unless we're really uncovering and delivering real value, rather than just turning up and sorting out issues, which is not really what we're there to do, we're not identifying that they're at risk either to competitors, or they're at risk to declining this year, because we're not communicating the value that we can deliver as effectively as we perhaps should be and could be. So when we identify those accounts, we also need to understand that we need to replace them at least twice or 3 times over with new business. And that's where the account manager needs to work with those roles who are active in bringing on new business, particularly for that region, or for, you know, the allocation of accounts that you've got, so that you can be you know, far more strategic. Because once you understand the value of those accounts that are going into decline, or that you could lose, or that you want to lose because they're no longer profitable, then you can work with new business to really identify the types or the size of opportunity that you need to bring in to your portfolio. So what I'll do in subsequent videos is talk about some of those strategies. So I'll talk about growth strategy in one, I'll talk about the fortification and protection strategy in another, and I'll talk about how to identify those opportunities that are either in decline or that are just increasingly expensive to serve. So they're no longer profitable for us, or that the margins are too tight. And, you know, our job as salespeople is always to deliver value, not just to our customers, but also back to the business. And sometimes we forget that. We forget that it's a mutual relationship there. So account managers, reach out, ask me your questions as well. More than happy to do that. And I'll see you in the next couple of days. If I don't see you before Easter, I hope you have a very beautiful, restful, peaceful Easter, where we really celebrate new life and rebirth. See you soon.